Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Southeast.
Shortly before 2 o'clock Eastern Time, Ronald Acuna Jr. made the long walk to the Braves clubhouse for the first time as a major leaguer. His big league journey begins tonight in Cincinnati, Ohio. Earlier this afternoon, Ronald Acuna's first steps onto a major league field were an unbelievably beautiful sight. He's not superstitious. He's wearing number 13 for a reason. He is number 1, however, the top-ranked Braves prospect, the number 1 prospect in all of baseball, and he makes his big league debut tonight here against the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, friends. Chip Carey, Joe Simpson. Welcome to a very special night of Braves baseball. The calendar says April 25th, but for Braves country, it feels like Christmas morning, for Ronald Acuna is finally here, and it looks like it's going to be worth the wait.
It's a big day for all of us, no matter how old we are or how young. To see a guy like this come along, who's kind of a generational type player, to see him get to the big leagues, everybody's excited to see him put on the uniform.
No doubt about it. The pedigree, the resume of Ronald Acuna Jr. has everyone excited. This guy did it all in the minor leagues, did it all this spring. Now he takes the big step to the show.
3 different stops in the minor leagues last year. A .325 average combined, 21 homers, 44 steals. He drove in over 80 runs as well. He was the MLB Pipeline Hitter of the Year last year. He was the Baseball America and USA Today Minor League Player of the Year. Capped off his year by being the youngest Arizona Fall League MVP in history. He's an outstanding talent who went to spring training this year trying to win a job and didn't do anything to disappoint. Some would say he was the best player on the field and might well have been. Well, he's here now. He's in a Braves uniform, and we're all fired up to see him.
He's only 19 years old, but he already has shown an awful lot of poise, handling all the media requests, including those of Kelsey Wingert, who chatted with Ronald a little earlier today.
Yep, you know who this guy is. This is Ronald Acuna Jr. making his much-anticipated Braves debut. And Ronald, you just got in this morning. So can you tell me when you found out and how you found out?
Cuéntanos de cómo averiguaste que te llamaban para la Grandes Ligas y a qué hora averiguaste.
Bueno, de verdad que eso fue a las 11 de la noche del día de ayer. El manager fue a mi habitación y me dijo que yo había sido subido a las Grandes Ligas.
Yeah, it was 11 o'clock last night, and the manager came in my room and told me that I got the call to the big leagues.
And who was the first person that you called?
¿Cuál fue la primera persona con quien llamaste?
Bueno, la primera persona quien llamé fue a mi padre, luego mi madre y después el entorno de mi familia.
Yeah, the first person I called was my father, and then I talked to my mother after that, and then talked to the rest of my family.
This is a day that everybody dreams of, and I know this has been a really big dream for you because your dad and your grandpa were both professional baseball players. So how much more special did that make that call, to call your dad and tell him you finally made it and you're up here now?
De verdad que es algo increíble, todo lo que el pelotero desea. De verdad que no tengo palabras para escribir, pero sé que es algo increíble, de verdad.
Yeah, it's something incredible, to be honest. I know it's something every baseball player dreams of, and to be honest, I'm having a hard time finding the words to describe the feeling, but it's incredible.
What was the first thought whenever that manager walked into your room? Did you think that he was going to tell you that news?
Bueno, cuando él entró yo me imaginé que era eso porque él nunca había ido a mi habitación y de repente él fue a mi habitación y yo me sorprendí.
I was surprised, but to be honest, I imagined that was what it was about because he's never been in my room before. So when he came over, I figured that's what it was about.
Now, you signed with the Braves in 2014. If somebody would have told you in 2018 you would have made it to the big leagues, and not only that, but you would be the youngest player in Major League Baseball, along with who you refer to as your brother, Ozzie Albies, would you have believed them?
De verdad que es algo increíble, como ya te le dije varias veces anteriores, de verdad que un sueño hecho realidad, de verdad que algo increíble, ya que estoy con mi hermano aquí, ahora sí, espero mantenernos muchos años más aquí.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's a dream come true, and it's incredible, and it's hard to describe, but I'm just so happy to be here. I'm excited to be here, and it's incredible to be here alongside with my brother.
I mentioned how you're the youngest player in Major League Baseball. You've been the youngest player at almost every level that you've played at. How have you been able to maintain your emotions with all of the hype around you and all of the excitement around your arrival up here?
De verdad que desde que yo salgo al terreno de juego, yo no le doy mente a eso a la edad. Yo solamente salgo a divertirme y a jugar fuerte.
To be honest, as soon as I hit the field, I don't think about how old anyone is. When I go out on the field, I just try to do my best and have fun.
Has Ozzie given you any advice?
Que si Ozzie te ha dado consejo.
De verdad que sí, él me ha dado buenos consejos, de verdad que él nunca va a querer mal para mí. Yo, como ya lo he dicho varias veces anteriores, yo lo veo como un hermano para mí.
Yeah, he's given me a lot of advice, and I think he genuinely and honestly wants what's best for me, and I feel like he's kind of looked out for me like a brother would.
You started the season down in Gwinnett. Do you really think that now that you can reflect back on it and you're up here that you benefited from the first few weeks down there?
Bueno, de verdad que sí, me benefició mucho, me ayudó a desarrollarme como pelotero, a aprender cosas que no sabía. De verdad que me siento bien contento, de verdad, porque fue lo mejor para mí.
Yeah, I think it was a big benefit for me, and I really benefited from it, and it helped me to develop a little bit more. I also learned some things that I didn't know about before, so I think it was a really good experience for me.
And I know you've seen social media. I know you've seen how excited these fans are. They're calling it Acuna Day. I mean, they are so ready, and they've been waiting so long for you to get here. How much does that support mean to you to see how much this fan base is already embracing you?
De verdad que es algo increíble, de verdad que le doy muchísimas gracias por todo su apoyo, su seguimiento, de verdad que es algo increíble, de verdad, como siempre lo soñé. De verdad, ellos están emocionados así tanto como yo y esperar que comience el juego.
It's incredible, to be honest. I just want to thank the fans for all their support throughout this entire time, and trust me, I'm just as excited as they are, if not more, so I'm looking forward to it.
What moment do you think it's going to hit you? When you got the call, when you're taking the field, your first at bat? When do you think it's really going to sink in that you've made it?
¿Cuándo tú crees que finalmente te vas a dar cuenta que, wow, he llegado? O sea, durante tu primer bateo, cuando entres al terreno, ¿cuándo tú crees que ese momento va?
Cuando salga a tomar el primer turno oficial.
I think during my first at-bats when I'm going to feel it.
Well, we are so excited to have you up here, excited to see what you bring to this team, and congratulations. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Great job, Kelsey. Joe, in your Hall of Fame career here with the Braves, you've seen a lot of guys come and go. Is there any other memory that matches the hoopla of Ronald Acuna Jr.'s debut tonight?
Yeah, I think the fanfare for Chipper, who had been the #1 pick in the country by the Braves, I think his arrival was similar to this. And don't forget Andrew Jones, who was a 2-time minor league player of the year before he arrived. But those guys came up at the end of the year. This guy's here in April.
And he's going to have a big impact for the Atlanta Braves. Can't wait to see Ronald Acuna's debut. It's just a few short minutes away. It's the Braves, it's the Reds, it's game 3 of 4 from Cincinnati. The Braves' top prospect gets his career started on Fox tonight. Nine for Brian Snitker tonight. He will hit 6th in his first big league assignment for the Atlanta Braves and play left field. Johan Camargo also gets to start at third base.
Yeah, there's 17 other guys playing tonight, but you wouldn't know it, would you?
No, but you can understand why with the #1 prospect in baseball debuting here.
And the Braves need a win.
Yeah.
I mean, this Cincinnati team has been stinking up the place, but they've played well the last 2 nights offensively against Atlanta. And they'll send a lefty out there tonight, Brandon Finnegan, 25 years old, 5'11", 210 out of TCU in Fort Worth. Originally a first-round pick by Kansas City, was traded over here in the deal for Johnny Cueto. He's gotten off to a horrible start, as you see, an 11 ERA in his first 2 outings so far on the year. It's kind of a nibbler.
Lots of walks. I was about to say 8 walks, 6 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings. In fact, 19 hits and walks in 7 1/3. That's way too many. Braves will take all the help they can get. As Joe said, the Braves have lost the first 2 games of this series, 10-4 and 9-7. Reds with 19 runs in the first 2 games against Atlanta had scored 17 runs in their previous 2 series combined. And Finnegan's first drops in there for a called strike, and we are underway. Ender Inciarte leading off with an 8-game hitting streak. An absolutely perfect night. Can you believe it's actually 65 degrees?
I see a shadow out there. I don't know what causes it.
Well, it ain't February, so it's not the groundhog, but we will happily take it. As that one served into left field, it'll get down for a leadoff hit for Ender. He's got a 9-game hit streak, and the Braves are off to a good start.
Braves finished with a flourish last night. They got no hit for 6 innings and then wound up with 7 runs on 11 hits before losing in the 12th inning. Got their offense going late, as they typically do.
Well, here's Viejo. Ozzie Albies no longer the youngest player in the game. Ozzie needs a hit. He's 0 for his last 15. And that's way outside, ball 1.
Finnegan can rush it up there in the mid-90s at times, but he sits usually in the low 90s. Change up and slider.
Jammed him, and it's popped up to the right and into the seats. And the count now 1 ball, 1 strike. Ozzie has not had a ton of right-handed at-bats this year, but with the left-hander on the mound, of course, he'll hit from the right side, where he's 10 for 20. And 3 homers. Chase that one. A ball and 2 strikes.
What a great asset for Ronald Acuna Jr. to have Ozzie Albies here, virtually his same age, and can already in Albies' limited time in the big leagues kind of show him the ropes a little bit.
Ender's running, got a good jump, ball in the dirt, it gets away, it goes to the screen, no swing, and Ender's at second base with nobody out. And Ender's credited with his 8th stolen base.
Went on his first move. Well, that ball bounced 3 feet in front of home plate. No chance for Barnhart.
So an RBI chance here in the first inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good cut.
So with Ender's base hit, Atlanta doesn't have to worry about being no hit for 6 innings, which was the impressive run for Tyler Mahle last night. 11 strikeouts for the Reds rookie, but a no decision. The 2-2 is bounced over the mound. That's tough play. Who wants it? Jeanette will throw late and wild. It's into the camera well. And Ender Inciarte trots home with the game's first run. It's 1-0 Atlanta. It's a single and an error, no RBI.
With Jeanette and his momentum taking him to third base, he might have been better served to let Peraza feel that, who also has a better arm. Braves will take it.
You bet. 1-0 for Freddie Freeman, who hit 2 home runs here last night. The first of them was an eye-popping 421-foot blast that, were the conditions not cold and damp on a night like tonight, would have maybe made it to the river.
No kidding. He's up there in smokestack territory.
1-0 pitch. And Freddie couldn't stop himself. No advance by Albies. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Inciarte and Ozzie 2 for 2 to start the game. The Braves hitting .218 this year against left-handed pitching. 1 win, 1 loss so far against an opposing left-handed starter. Good eye by Freeman. 2 balls and a strike.
Finnegan last year missed a lot of time with a variety of injuries. He only made 4 starts, went 1-1. One of the disabled list stints was he had to have surgery on his right shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder, after he suffered a fall away from the ballpark while he was rehabbing another injury.
That is bad luck, isn't it?
That's a bad year.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Freeman swung late. There's the first out of the inning. First strikeout for Finnegan. That'll bring up Nick Markakis.
Well, that was a real late swing by Freddie. He must not have picked that up. 90 right there. Got a bright sunshine, believe it or not, out in center field. Might be a little difficult to pick it up right now.
Nick Markakis having a good series here in Cincy. 5 for 8 with a homer. And he has been tearing up left-handed pitching. Let's see if he can bring Albies home. The pitch to him. He is way upstairs. Well, when the Reds started dismantling their ball club, they traded Aroldis Chapman. They traded Todd Frazier. They traded Johnny Cueto. And sadly for Cincinnati, there has not been that great of a return in any of those deals. In fact, the trade for Cueto, Finnegan's the last man standing in their organization after they sent Johnny to Kansas City. And that's taken high. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. John Lamb and Cody Reed. Remember, that was a 3 left-handed pitcher deal for Johnny Cueto right before the trading deadline in 2015.
And Finnegan had pitched in the World Series of 2014 right out of the College World Series.
Albies at second after the Jeanette error. 1-0 Atlanta. The 2-1 pitch. He is well off the plate. There's some of that nibbling again by Finnegan. 3 balls and a strike. Already 18 pitches for him. Johan Camargo is next. Both managers would love long starts. After last night's extra innings, the pitch. Missed inside, ball 4. 2 on, 1 out for Camargo. And Finnegan's asking Field and Culbreth if that pitch was up. Apparently the answer to that was yes. So here's Johan. He came on late in the game last night, part of the Atlanta 4-run rally in the 9th. He drew a bases loaded walk. See if he can do some damage here with only 1 out. And that's up and away. Ball 1. Acuna is next. Ozzy's going to try to steal third, and he's going to be able to steal third. Or are they going to send him back? Yep, I think they're going to send him back because the throw could not be made by Tucker Barnhart. Camargo ducked. And home plate umpire Field and Culbreth is saying that Camargo interfered with the catcher.
He didn't move, did he? Except a duck. How is that interference? There's no contact. 1 foot still in the box. That's a horrible call. What in the world was that?
Nobody in the Braves dugout is arguing that. So Albies had the base stolen, but he's back at second. 2-0 count. A catcher doesn't have to throw the ball for interference to be called. My understanding of the rule is if in the umpire's judgment there's any kind of attempt or impedance by the batter, then they can send the runners back. Foul back to the screen. But all Johan did was duck. What else is he supposed to do?
He had one foot that had backed out of the box and one that was still in it, and ducked to get out of the way, and he still called interference. Sorry, Fielden. That was a bad call.
2-1. Markakis at first. Pitch 23 coming. Instead, a pickoff throw to second. That was close. And Scooter's going to take a moment and allow the Reds replay room to look at this bang bang play at the bag. They will not check it.
Nice play to catch it on the short hop, though. Jeanette only made 9 errors last year. He's already made 3 this year. 2 in this series.
That's headed for the seats right side, and now the count's 2-2.
And barring a double play, Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to hit in the first inning.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Good battle here. Hard to believe that Brandon Finnegan's now 25 years old. And he's pitched part of 5 seasons in the major leagues already. Strike 3 over the inside corner. He got the call. And Camargo is caught looking for the second out. And here is Ronald Acuna Jr. for his first major league at bat. You heard his great chat with Kelsey on Braves Live. How the moment will get to him in his first big league at bat. Well, here it is. High fly ball hit toward right center field. Schebler going back to the warning track. He's there at the 370 sign, and he makes the play. The Braves get a gift run in the first inning thanks to a Scooter Gennett throwing error. 1-0 for Matt Whistler, who goes to work next. Now it's a chance to see him work defensively for the first time for Atlanta. He'll be in left field with Ender Inciarte and Nick Markakis. Matt Whistler, I'm sure, will appreciate that, coming off a remarkably good start against the Mets.
Start that Brandon McCarthy said was the best start of anybody the Braves have run out there this year, and I agree. 2 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts. So he gets a start against the Cincinnati Reds in his Ford Keys tonight. Number 1, make this the same old, you know, just another ho-hum start for you. Don't make it any different than the one before. And 91 to 92. Stay somewhere in that zone because your fastball was moving so well at that speed. Don't try to overthrow and bump it up a little faster where it gets straighter.
That's a proud native of the Buckeye State from Bryan, Ohio, located in the northwest corner of the state. His mom and grandma are here to watch him pitch tonight. And his first to Jesse Winker was ball 1. Line drive into right field, and the Reds have a leadoff hit. Winker with a 7-game hitting streak. So far, Atlanta's not been able to slow down this suddenly red-hot Cincinnati attack. As we mentioned, the Reds have scored 19 runs in the first 2 games for their interim manager, Jim Riggleman. Their starting 9 brought to you by Toyota. And here's Jose Peraza.
He's had a great series.
Lined into center. And Ender will play that on a short hop. He's going to fire to second, but too late to force Winker. And very quickly, Cincinnati has 2 line drive singles after 3 pitches. And Joey Votto will hit with nobody out.
Well, they've equaled the hit total for the Mets already. He had a lot of the plate. Peraza stays hot.
Joey Votto with a .244 average. He hit his first homer of the season in the 5th inning last night, the first of back-to-back homers with Scooter Gennett. In fact, as Joe mentioned last night, the first 4 hitters in order for the Reds did not have a home run until last night's 5th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt could use a ground ball at someone here with 2 on, none out. There's an off-speed pitch and a beauty. It's 1-2.
2 good breaking balls. Mixed results for Matt against the Reds. A couple of starts. He's 1-1 with a 4 ERA. There's a good time to break out 95.
There you go.
Bust one inside like that.
Votto fortunate to foul it off. As you said, not an easy time to hit with the 6:40 local time start. A lot of shadows, still some bright sunshine shining on the hitter's background in straightaway center. And a ground ball through the left side of the infield. The Braves had a shift on, and Votto spoiled that. So at 2 strikes, Votto has the 3rd straight Cincinnati single to start the game.
Left that one up, and with the shift on, that slider was hit right where it was pitched.
So now a big mess. Scooter Gennett is the hitter. He'll try to atone for his throwing error. Gennett had a very interesting game last night. Executed a squeeze play, hit 2 homers, committed a 2-run error. So he was all over the place. And a strike.
Watching Acuna in left field, he's checking out Ender Inciarte. He's checking out the dugout for any positioning that he needs to know about. A little hard for him to see right now too, with the sun right about eye high and looking into the shadow. Moving in a little now, maybe that'll help.
A strikeout here would be welcome. 0-2 for Scooter Gennett. Braves need a win tonight. As you said, Joe, this ballpark has been a house of horrors the last 8 years. Atlanta has won just one series in Cincinnati in that stretch.
The best they can leave town with is a split, and they can only do that if they win tonight.
1-2. Popped him up. Drifting out is Dansby. Coming on is Acuna and Ender. It'll be Ender making the play, and no advance. So Scooter Gennett pops up. There's the first out, and now Whistler a double play away from getting out of the inning. And for you novice baseball fans, no, that was not an infield fly.
Or for postseason umpires who don't know the difference.
Not that we've let that go.
Yeah, we've moved on, haven't we?
Here's Adam Duvall. Right hand hitting Adam Duvall. This guy's got a lot of power. 3 straight singles for Cincinnati, then the pop up, and missed inside, ball 1.
There's a saying in baseball that when young players get to the big leagues, sometimes that third deck really makes them feel out of place because there's a lot of people here normally for a major league game. And the stadium is so high. Well, it's true, but it's also especially true for an outfielder who's not used to seeing that as a background for fly balls and may have a little trouble with depth perception on it.
And Ronald was out early during batting practice, taking fly balls, ground balls, trying to get his bearings defensively. Shadow slowly creeping behind him in left. As Duvall digs in, awaiting a 1-1 pitch. What a stop. Perez saved a run. 2-1 the count. Duvall, a local kid out of Louisville, Kentucky. He's 29 years old. 30 or more homers in each of the last 2 years. He's knocked in 102 runs. Excuse me, 202 runs. I beg your pardon. The last 2 seasons entering this 2018 campaign. Good hook, evens the count.
Breaking ball has been his best pitch. A ground ball here would do wonders for his confidence, wouldn't it?
See what he can do with a 2-2 count. Right to Ozzie. He's going to step on the bag and throw to first, and he got out of it. Bases loaded, nobody out. And Matt Whistler wiggles off the hook and preserves a 1-0 Atlanta lead. Unbelievable.
Chevy. Find new roads.
Braves won Cincinnati nothing after 1 inning. The Reds had 3 singles in a row to start the game, but a pop out and a double play keeps them off the scoreboard here, much to the delight of that young Braves fan. Here in the second, Dansby Swanson, Carlos Perez, and Matt Whistler are coming up against Brandon Finnegan. Dansby batting .326 for the year, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 12. He had a hit and scored a run last night. It was Dansby that scored the game-tying run in the ninth after Ender Inciarte hit a rocket that Scooter Gennett couldn't handle at second base. Smoke to third, and right there is Blandino. And Alex stayed with it and handled that sinking line drive for out number 1. Hard hit ball, and Dansby out of luck.
Another rope.
Carlos Perez 3 for 18 at the plate. Takes a strike. High pop into shallow right. That should be a can of corn for Winker. 2 outs.
Just got some information from the truck that that ruling on the attempted stolen base by Ozzie was not Camargo's fault. It was the umpire's fault. See how Fielding Culber's head got turned there as Barnhart reached back to throw. He's calling it on himself.
Well, then shouldn't Fielding Culberth have to go out to second?
Yeah, there you go. Well, yes, but that'd take way too long. We just didn't pace a play here.
So it was the umpire who interfered with the throw, not the batter. As Matt Whistler shoots one down the right field line, foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Now both Eric Young and Ozzie Albies, after the first inning ended, were talking with Culberth about that play, and a good pickup by the truck. We couldn't see the contact with the umpire from our angle. And a swing and a miss retires the side. That's 3 strikeouts for Finnegan. He has a 1-2-3 second inning. Atlanta 1, Reds nothing. Glad you're with us in Cincinnati tonight.
The the second inning. And as you all know, it is Ronald Acuna Jr. making his major league debut today. So you know the nerves are high, but it makes you a little bit more comfortable when you can walk into the clubhouse and see some guys that you're really close with. And Ozzie Albies is somebody who Ronald Acuna calls his brother. And our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot is that we now have the two youngest guys in Major League Baseball and them combined. Ronald Acuna is now the youngest, with Ozzie Albies coming in second. Ozzie Albies said they're so excited to get all of these young guys back together. It's just like they're playing in Double-A. And whenever I asked Acuna what's the best piece of advice Ozzie told him, he said, stay yourself, don't try to do anything extra, and it's just going to come to you. And when you're that good, I think he's right.
I agree, Kelsey. It's hard to do, though, when you see the bright lights and, like I said, the third deck of a stadium. Funny things happen to you.
And Whistler goes to work in the second inning. Scott Schebler leads off and had a late swing and a miss.
But I'd say he made that adjustment from A ball to Triple-A just fine last year.
Line drive hit towards center. Ender retreats and has it. The Reds are squaring up Matt Whistler, but have nothing to show for it so far. There's out number one. Here's Tucker Barnhart, the Cincinnati catcher, batting .250. A shot hit toward Ozzie. Nice play and a strong throw gets Barnhart. 2 outs. He has such unbelievable closing speed. I thought that ball was in center field for a hit.
Very accurate, too. Very rarely see him throw something that's not chest high and easy to handle for Freddie.
Here's Alex Blandino. A couple of hits for him yesterday. And he's got one to lead off the second. Boy, they are getting after it early in the count, aren't they?
I'll say.
And that's 4 Cincy singles, and at the least it clears Finnegan.
Is that the third pitch of the inning? Third or fourth?
So runner aboard, 2 outs. Yeah, Whistler's thrown just 21 pitches. Double play bailed him out of the opening inning. Let's see if he can retire the pitcher. And that's downstairs, ball 1. Brandon Finnegan off a college campus and right to the big leagues with Kansas City a few short years ago. And he hits a ground ball to second. Ozzie again will flip this time to Dansby, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, a man left. Reds have left 3 through 2 and trail 1-0. Top of the Atlanta orders coming up for a second time.
for 30 days with the Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks, and Atlanta United. Presented by Advance Auto Parts.
1-0 Braves. We head to the third inning. Second time through the order now. Against Brandon Finnegan, Inciarte, Albies, Freeman. Ender and Ozzie both had base hits to start the night. Another sparse crowd in Cincinnati, even with the weather turning nice. First 2 games of this series, they've drawn 23,500 or so. And a lot of Braves fans have come to the Great American Ballpark to see the big league debut of Ronald Acuna tonight. And he's 0 for 1. Ender a 9-game hitting streak, 15 hits in that stretch. He's also stolen his 8th bag tonight. And fouled away for a strike.
Yeah, a lot of them, Braves fans, apparently were standing in line at the chili joints today because they expected you to be there for the chili taste-off.
Yeah. Yep, it was going to be a big day. Kelsey and I were going to evaluate the Gold Star. And first the ground ball. Votto ranging far to his right. Terrible throw. And Ender will reach. Where the heck was Votto going? If he stays at the bag, Scooter Jeanette's right there to throw him out.
That was a routine grounder.
Yeah. So bad play by Votto. And Christmas comes early. That was scored a hit.
Well, they are generous here. Finnegan was late breaking because it was hit to the second baseman.
Thank you very much. Ender will take it. And here's Ozzie, an infield hit his first time.
Yeah, but the arrival of Mr. Acuna kind of preempted things today, huh?
Thank goodness. All I can tell you is first the pitch, which is upstairs. You know, the big debate here in Cincinnati is the Gold Star and the skyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what we had in the press room tonight.
Yeah, it was four-way, I think is what they said.
It should have been no way. Swing and a miss. Yes.
Yeah.
Counts even 1-1. And you know me, I don't turn down much when it comes to dinner time. But
they started off with chicken and dumplings on Monday, and we've begun to slide down Pete Rose way.
Time call at the very last moment by Field at Culbreth. Yeah, they're chili. They say it's not really what you'd call regular chili. I mean, there aren't beans in it. There's all kinds of weird spices in it, like allspice and cinnamon, and in some places they say chocolate, which is just really good. But I'm not feeling that ad campaign right there right now. And then, you know, they don't serve it in a bowl. At least they didn't upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a big plate of spaghetti. Then they put the chili on it. Then they put the onions on it. Then they put about 17 pounds of cheese on it.
Mm-hmm.
One pitch. But I will say, Kelsey set a new major league record for carbohydrates tonight. She had the chili, she had the mac and cheese, and she had French fries tonight. That was quite a triple play.
Carbo loading.
Yes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Ozzie behind in the count, 1-2. But great folks here in Cincinnati. It's always a treat to come visit. Great crew here in our visiting booth. They make us feel right at home. We just wish the Reds players and managers would do the same. It's a tough place.
Cooperate.
Yeah, just a little.
We're not here that often.
Right. And the pitch. Runner goes. Fouled away. And Ender has been feeling frisky on the base paths. Love it. He'll head back to first with nobody out.
Getting a good read on Finnegan. He and Eric Young got him sized up, it looks like.
Freddie Freeman's on deck. Nick Markakis waiting in the hole here. 1-0 Atlanta. A throwing error brought home the first run. And the pitch is lifted to the right side. we've heard so much about Ronald Acuna. We're hearing an awful lot about Jose Bautista. You know about the Braves' young pitching phenoms that are knocking at the door as well. As a veteran player, Joe, what does this kind of a night do for you in a major league uniform?
I think it's probably exciting because you know it's making your club better. It's giving you a better chance to win, and that's what the veterans, that's what they're all about, is winning. And whatever, doesn't matter who it is or where they come from, if they make your team better, that's what it's all about, winning.
Atlanta starting the night at 12-10. Leading tonight in Game 3.
I got to say, and I'll be putting words in Freddie Freeman's mouth, but the days of waiting and rebuilding and all that, that kind of, it's come and gone. Time to win some ball games.
And I think you ask some of these guys privately, they feel this team's pretty darn close to being able to make a lot of noise in the East this year. Runner goes again. Pitch popped up. Long run Jeanette. Longer run for Winker, who's near the line, and he's going to put the squeeze on it for out number 1. Braves starting pitching has been very good. I think we'd all agree we'd like to see them take the ball deeper in the game a little more frequently.
No question about that. I think the starting pitching's been very good. I felt so bad for Max Fried yesterday, pitching in the 12th inning, giving up a walk and a homer to end the ball game. You know, he had ideas of coming up here and making a big splash and kind of claiming a place for himself. That was a rough outing for him last night, but he'll get more.
Shift on for Freddie, who went after the first one, didn't get it. Freddie has worn out left-handed pitching this year. He's 8 for 20 against lefties. 2 home runs, 2 of his 4, as a matter of fact.
You saw in that setup on our graphic there that the Reds are one of the teams that move their third baseman over on the other side, leave their shortstop at home.
Freddie dumps one toward left. That ball is going to get down for a hit. Love it. A little pop fly into shallow left, drops in front of Adam Duvall, and the Braves are in business, first and second with 1 out.
You know, maybe that's what he was trying to do his first time up. That was a big old sweeping high curve ball that he kind of fought off. But when he was late on that fastball his first time up, maybe that's what he was trying to do, was go to the left side.
So Freddie has his 4th hit of the series. Nick Markakis, who took a walk his first time, stands in. I think as you look at the ball club now, Joe, 22 games in, I think a concern is the bullpen. A, the number of appearances, and B, how hard the bullpen has made it on itself collectively with all the bases on balls that they've issued.
I think that's fair and a good assessment.
Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Braves are scoring runs. They're still hitting well with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I think they've still scored the most runs in the National League.
They don't strike out too often. Last couple of games, that's bumped up. One-0 pitch. They've done most of this work against winning teams.
Yes.
The clubs that they've played. I mean, let's be honest. It could have been very easy for the Braves to have been buried in the first 3 weeks of the season with their games against the Mets, the Nationals, and the Cubs.
I think that's why there's some disappointment with these first 2 games here. After playing all those good teams, to come in here and play a team that had been playing horribly, to not win the first 2 games is disappointing.
High fly ball towards center. Schebler drifting back, and he's got room. He makes the catch. The throw will come towards second base as Ender tags up. Markakis is the second out, and Johan Camargo will hit with runners at the corners. What is exciting is that the Braves 9-6 so far against their division. And with all the divisional games you play at that pace, you're going to have a chance to make some noise and play meaningful games in the second half of the year. And 2 more Eastern foes await us after we wrap up our series tomorrow here in Cincy. We go to Philadelphia, where the Phillies are playing great at home. Then we go to New York to face the Mets. One ball, no strikes for Camargo. Acuna waits on deck. Braves have wrapped out 4 hits against Brandon Finnegan so far. He's struck out 3 men. On the appeal at first, Camargo checked his swing. Good to have CB Buckner back. CB missed a couple of games here in Cincinnati, actually a game and a half. He came out of the ball game midway through game 1 with an undisclosed issue. So CB back in at first base. Ball 3. Would it be nice to see Acuna come up with bases full of Braves here in his second big league at bat? Made him throw a strike. 3-1. Rowell getting the start tonight. Left-hander on the mound. Swing and a high fly ball driven deep toward left field. That ball is going to bounce off the wall. That'll score a run. Freddie Freeman to third. Camargo belly flops into second with a double, and Atlanta adds to the lead. It's 2-0.
Last couple of starts for Johan. He's come up with some big extra base hits. The RBI triple at home, and now a double off the wall. The short hop the wall. It gives the Braves a 2-0 lead.
So for the second time tonight, Acuna comes up with a couple of men on base. He swung at the first pitch he saw and drove it to the 370 sign in right center field. And he drives another one toward right field. Winker drifting back is going to have room. Acuna's seen 2 pitches. He's flied out twice. And that ends the Atlanta third. Ender Inciarte has scored both Atlanta runs. We head to the home half. 2-0 Braves in game 3. Experience and catch every moment this season. Get Braves home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Braves 2, Reds nothing. Home third coming up. It's Winker versus Whistler. The all tongue twister matchup in tonight's game. Winker a base hit to start things off. 1 of 3 in a row for the Reds in their first turn against Matt, but a pop out and a double play kept him off the scoreboard. One ball, one strike. Line drive into right. Winker is 2 for 2.
This guy can hit. Got a quick bat. Came off the bench Monday night. Hit a line drive. Pinch hitting.
So the 2 hits tonight will get him over the 300 batting mark. And he stands at first for Jose Peraza, who has a very impressive streak running. 39 straight plate appearances without a strikeout. Has been able to put it in play in front of Joey Votto. He did that in the first with a single himself. Fly ball headed for left center. Ender got a great jump and he makes the catch. So both the Reds and Braves swinging aggressively early in the count tonight. That time Inciarte caught Peraza's drive, and there's the first out.
Just checking Winker's minor league numbers. 298 career mark in the minor leagues.
And as you look at the Fox box on your screen, that 28 pitch count gives you an idea of the Reds' offensive strategy. Here's Votto. 29th pitch, and that's in the 3rd inning. We have seen starters in recent days have 30 pitches in 1 inning. One ball, no strikes.
Boy, the Nationals broke out today. They'd lost 4 in a row. They beat the Giants 15-2.
Don't know if Max Scherzer's ever lost with 15.
Yeah.
He was the man on the mound today.
Good for him.
2 balls, no strikes. And the Nats been having trouble scoring runs. Understandable with Rendon disabled, Eaton hurt, and Daniel Murphy not back yet. So there's a big outcome in San Fran, 15-2.
Yeah, the more losses they suck up early, the better you like it, because they don't have all their players together yet.
There's a strike to Votto, 3-1 the count. Sean Kelly also disabled. He's got a nerve problem in his elbow. So very careful with him. Scooter Gennett looking on in the on-deck circle as Votto awaits a 3-ball, 1-strike pitch. Mets are in St. Louis a little later on tonight. Matz and Waka are the starters at Busch Stadium. 3-1 count. And Votto serves one down the left field line, foul. Matt Harvey, by the way, made his first appearance out of the bullpen. Gave up a run on a couple of hits, pitched 2 innings.
And did not talk to the media afterwards.
So you know that went over well. The Mets came back and won the game on a Jay Bruce home run in extra innings. The 3-2 pitch now to Joey Votto. Runner goes and fouled away. Milwaukee visits Kansas City tonight. Lorenzo Cain had a nice homecoming at Kauffman Stadium yesterday. Brewers got some more bad injury news. They're already without Corey Knebel, their closer. Marcus Thames has a thumb ligament problem that's going to cost him at least 2 months. That's just when Milwaukee is playing maybe its best baseball of the year. The Brewers have a 7-game win streak working as they play tonight. 3-2 again, and ball 4 to Votto. 2 on, 1 out. Scooter Gennett coming up. Votto walks for the 14th time this year. That's the first of the night for Matt. And here's Scooter.
And the first walk he's issued since he has come back. Yeah, you're right. Milwaukee, they've got the lead in the National League Central by a game over St. Louis. Playing real well on the road, 7-3. Boy, they've been ravaged by injuries despite that.
Up and into Jeanette, ball one. So Brewers, one of the big stories in baseball these days. And a great story in baseball was announced about an hour and a half ago, which we'll get to in a moment. 1 ball, no strikes for Scooter Jeanette. And he takes one at the knees. Remember Johnny Venters? Well, after 2,028 days and 3.5 Tommy John surgeries, the Tampa Bay Rays have recalled Johnny Venters to pitch in the big leagues again.
Isn't that awesome? How exciting.
1 ball, 1 strike. And up and away, 2-1 the count. I can't imagine the number of hours that Johnny Venters and his family had to endure trying to come back after all of those operations, and to never give up that dream and then come back and be able to pitch and get back to pitch at the highest level. Absolutely unbelievable.
I'm just really happy for him and proud of him. Such a good person.
Scooter pops it foul, 2-2.
Talk about a guy who was almost unhittable when he came up with that turbo sinker of his.
Did he finish a year with a sub-1 ERA for the Braves?
I remember when Chase Utley faced him for the first time and turned to the Braves catcher and said something to the effect of, "What was that and who is that?"
He found that fast, didn't he? 2-2 pitch. Popped him up again. This one is going to be an infield fly. Ordinary effort on the infield and in fair territory.
It's even on the dirt.
Right. Something you don't often see in a Braves game, but
not in postseason, no.
two outs for Duvall, who hit into a double play his first time up. Yeah, the Braves bullpen. It was Eric O'Flaherty, Johnny Venters, and Craig Kimbrell. It was a true 6-inning game when you played the Braves back then. And who knows, maybe someday soon we'll get back to that kind of late inning dominance. Those were heady times at Turner Field, and good times are approaching us at SunTrust. Braves interaction tonight at 12 and 10.
Chris Hammond, Darren Holmes also part of that.
That's had base runners all over the place tonight. He's made a couple of big pitches. Let's see if he can get out of the third. He's a strike away from doing that, as Duvall was off stride. Joe, I think you made an excellent point about Matt. The easier he throws, the more effective his stuff looks.
It moves better, Chip. And honestly, in talking to Greg McMichael the other night at home, he was the one that first brought it up to me that when he tries to, or when his fastball is more in the 94 range, it straightens out. When he stays 91, 92, he's got good sinking action to it. It's a lot more ground balls.
0-2 for Duvall. Here it is. Up and away.
Greg McMichael could get a ground ball or two. A good change up and sinker.
And him reaching, and another pop-up. Matt Whistler's made some big pitches when he's had to tonight. Ozzie Albies puts the squeeze on that. Cincinnati is stranding base runners like crazy. They've left 5 through 3.
Southeast is presented by your local Chevy dealer. Georgia Drive Chevy. Find new roads. Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Beautiful downtown art here in Cincinnati. That's Ezra Charles, former world boxing champion. Yeah, he was a heavyweight back in the 40s and 50s. The Cincinnati Cobra. What a great name.
Yeah.
Like that. As Atlanta's up in the 4th inning, first pitch swinging is Dansby Swanson. He hit a bullet to third and was retired back in the 2nd inning. Finnegan's pitched 7 1/3 innings coming into action tonight. He's gone 3 innings so far in game 3.
And he's only walked 1. That's a big sign for him. 3 innings in his last start against the Cardinals. He walked 4 and gave up 5 hits. And oddly enough, the 4 runs he allowed were the only ones the Cardinals scored. St. Louis won the game 4-2.
Another bouncer in front of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think Barnhart's had enough of those tonight already.
The 1-2 pitch. Didn't get the corner. Good try. Good eye by Dansby. 2-2.
Here, Field and Culbreth bark it out too. That's inside.
Like it. Lets everybody know. Let's see what Dansby gets with the 2-2. Fought it off. We wrap up the series here tomorrow. It's an early start. Braves live at high noon. First pitch 12:40. Homer Bailey will pitch for the Reds. Sean Newcomb goes for the Braves. Then we're off to Philly for the weekend. 2-2. Full count. Phillies are at home with Arizona tonight. They lead 1-0 early at Citizens Bank Park. Arizona beat the Phillies 8-4 last night. Tonight it's Greinke and Arrieta. It's a good matchup. Payoff. Broken bat, fly ball hit toward left, and Duvall's going to get there. Dansby's retired for the first out.
Yeah, when the Braves go to Philadelphia, want to guess what the pitching matchups are?
Tell me it's not the same.
Exactly the same as the opening series and the second series. Tehran and Nola on Friday. Voltanevich and Pivetta on Saturday. McCarthy and Vasquez on Sunday.
Perez pops one to right. Winker is there. 2 outs.
The Braves have won 4 out of 6 against the Phillies. They're probably sick of seeing these guys pitch too.
Right. Here's Whistler. He struck out to end the Atlanta second. 2-0 Braves. Single runs in the first and third. Ender 2 for 2. He scored both Braves runs tonight. Anthony's a strike. That's 0 for 3 at the plate. Couple of strikeouts this year. He's shutting out the Reds to this point. Beautiful pitch by Finnegan, strikes out Whistler, and that retires the side in order. 4 strikeouts for the Cincy lefty.
Of the fourth inning here in Cincinnati, and we told you about the really close and special relationship between Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna. Well, Acuna also has a really different relationship with his new neighbor in center field, Ender Inciarte. So both guys are from Venezuela, and Ender told us he actually grew up watching Acuna's dad play professional baseball because he played in the city that Ender was born in. So he says he remembers him being an opposite field hitter, and when Ender and his dad would go to the games, his dad would point at Acuna's dad and say, that's what you have to do. You have to go to the opposite field often. And now, Chip and Joe, Ender gets to take the field with his son, Ronald Acuna Jr.
That's a pretty good story right there, Kelsey. That's a beauty. I was talking to John Holland, Braves equipment manager, about the number he's wearing. He originally wanted to wear 24. That's his number. But Kurt Suzuki wears 24. So of the numbers that were available.
Ground ball hit by Schebler right to Ozzie, and he makes the play. 1 out.
One of them was 13, and 13, of course, carries a lot of significance for players who are native to Venezuela. And it started with David Concepcion, Omar Vizquel, Ozzie Guillen, all Venezuelan players who wore 13, and he's carrying that on.
One out by Matt Whistler here in the fourth inning. Tucker Barnhart also grounded out in his lone appearance against Matt. He's down a strike. 0-1. I wonder what kind of negotiations would take place if Ronald went up to Kurt and said, hey, I really want 24. You've heard stories about players selling their uniforms or selling their uniform numbers.
I don't know. I would.
That's foul at first. Close play. Strike 2.
I wouldn't be surprised to learn that there had already been a chat about it.
Didn't Brian Jordan have one of those deals when he was with the Braves? I can't remember whose number.
Freddie Gonzalez.
That's right.
33. Bought Freddie a motorcycle. A beauty. For giving up the number.
0-2 pitch. Little pop. Not a whole lot of hard contact for the Reds at the moment. Nats maybe found something. Another soft pop out on the infield. And that takes care of Barnhart for the second out.
That to me says there's a lot of movement. Guys think that they're about to zero in on a pitch that's moving in on them.
This is a big batter to get. Alex Blandino, the third baseman, singled in the second inning. That would like to get him and start the fifth with the pitcher. Downstairs, ball 1. Right there, even count. Way high to the Reds' former first-round pick out of Stanford University, Alex Blandino, out of Palo Alto, California.
Both of these pitchers working quickly. Good pace to it.
Check swing, and that turns into a thing of gold. Markakis got to it quickly. And a check swing, opposite field single by Blandino. He'll take it. He's 2 for 2. And the Reds again will clear the pitcher.
Wow. Look at Matt's reaction. Are you kidding me? Nice play by Markakis to get there. Nick's really playing some good baseball.
Yes, he is. Downstairs for Finnegan, who bounced into a force play to end the Reds' second. Smoke to center. Ender retreats. Still going back. He's got room. And that retires the side. That's one of the hardest hit balls in the last couple innings. It came off the bat of the Cincinnati pitcher. But nothing doing for the Reds. We go to the fifth, and the top of the order's coming up for Atlanta. Have gotten runs scored by Ender Inciarte in the first and third innings. Hopefully the same combo will work here in the fifth. Brought to you by Audi. It's Ender, Ozzie, and Freddie against Brandon Finnegan, who's working through the lineup for a third time. Talking about players who are willing to pay a hefty price to get a number to their liking. Our colleague Tom Glavine paid to get number 47 back when he was with the Mets. He wanted number 47, but Joe McEwing was wearing that number in New York. Tom agreed to pay for a baby nursery in McEwing's home in exchange for number 47.
Well, that's different.
Not a watch, not a car, but a baby nursery.
Huh.
Sharply hit on the ground to Scooter Gennett, and a throw to first in time retires Inciarte for the first time.
I'd really like to have your number. Anything you'd like? Yeah, a crib. Mobile.
6 months worth of diapers would be great.
That's creative.
Yeah. So here's Ozzie. He's got an infield hit. A throwing error by Scooter Gennett. Brought home Ender Inciarte. And that one is right down the line, and it's off the pole. It stayed in the air forever. And Ozzie wasn't sure it was going to stay fair. I wasn't sure it was going to stay fair. But it's a solo home run, number 7 for Albies. His 17th extra base hit before the end of April, which ties the Braves franchise record.
Well, he snapped an 0 for 15 with that hit in the first inning, and now he's back to driving the ball. He realized it might stay fair and decided, I better run. And right off the screen.
So Ozzie, with all of that age experience over Ronald Acuna Jr., has just hit a home run. And a line shot into the shift. That one almost hit Finnegan on the way by, and Peraza was there to snag it. And there's the second out. So you heard Ronald say that Ozzy's like his brother. Let's see when he comes up if he can do what his best buddy just did, and that's hit a home run. Down with the sunflower seeds too. Upstairs, ball one. Can you imagine how fun that's got to be? Your best buddy, you're 20 years old or so in the major leagues together on a team that's playing good baseball, and the world is your oyster.
I was just going to say, as we have the joy of getting to watch him play, we all have to remind ourselves constantly that he's 19 and he won't be 20 until December.
Line drive by Nick Markakis. He is squaring up everything.
No one on this Braves team is seeing the ball better than Nick. Not only is he scorching balls, but he's also taking borderline pitches. He's just seeing it so well. A breaking ball, waited, raked it. Boy, is he pounding the baseball.
That's 6 hits for him in this series, and you know Joey Votto appreciates the good work by Markakis at the plate. Here's Camargo, 1 for 2 with a double, and he didn't get it. A chest high fastball, strike one. That's down the right field line. Troubled if it's fair. No such luck. And it's 0-2. So an historic home run for Ozzy Albies, his 7th. And as I said, his 17th extra base hit before the end of April. Chipper Jones, Dale Murphy, and Justin Upton, the other 3 that have reached that plateau. We've still got 5 days left in the month. 0-2 pitch, way outside. Speared by the Reds pitcher. Nice play by Finnegan. And that retires the side. Ozzy Albies hit a moonshot, a mile high and 374 feet long. His 7th home run extends Atlanta's lead after 4.5 in Game 3. Braves lead the Reds 3-0. First inning, third inning, fifth inning tallies for the Braves, who lead 3-0. Top of the Reds order coming up in the fifth. Winker, Peraza, and Votto.
Made a couple of good plays defensively. He's hit a home run. Back on track.
And when we get to the sixth inning, Ronald Acuna is going to lead off for the Braves. I think we both aired earlier tonight. Ronald's 20, not 19.
Yeah, I did the same thing. My bad.
Mine too.
Turned 20 in December.
We're just at the age where, whether it's you or me, we just stopped counting birthdays. So
that's really young.
Yes, it is. 1 ball, 1 strike for Winker, who's 2 for 2. And in for a strike. I do know that Ronald was the lone teenager at AAA last year for the Braves. All he did was hit .344 with Gwinnett. And the first chance for him perhaps in left near that wall, and he has no play. What made him so intriguing was the higher the level, the better he got.
Yeah.
Right? 287 at high A. In the 320s at double A, 344 at triple A. Combined to hit 21 homers, drive in 86 runs, and the most exciting part to me was the 44 stolen bases. That's why so many people say he is a 5-tool player. It's for average, it's for power, great speed, strong arm, good defender.
Yeah, those most recent games where he was coming around with the bat, he swiped 3 bases too, which was a good sign.
He has yet to be tested defensively tonight, as Whistler faces a 2-2 count. And he just missed to Winker. Now it's 3-2. Former Brave Jose Peraza on deck. And the payoff pitch from Matt is low. He lost him. Got to 2 strikes. Couldn't finish him off. Second walk. And Winker's been aboard 3 times leading off tonight.
Yeah, that's a bad walk there because it was 0-2 and because Winker was really aggressive early in the count. He never offered him another pitch for him to swing at. This guy's swinging, and he's swinging early.
That guy is Jose Peraza. Snap throw to first, and Winker back safely. Appearances in a row for Peraza without a strikeout. See if Whistler can get another double play ball here. Little fly ball into shallow left. There's Mr. Acuna. First chance handled, no problem. And off the end of the bat, Peraza's retired for the first out. Seems to me when the Reds are hitting line drives, the ball is rocketing. Anything not a line drive is pretty soft contact so far. See if that continues with Joey Votto, who's reached twice. He walked last time up, singled in the opening inning. The Reds loaded the bases with nobody out and didn't score. They had first and second, 1 out in the third, and had 2 pop outs in a row to end a threat. And now Votto launches one toward the gap in left center. Ender has gone as far as he can go. It's a first pitch home run for Joey Votto, and just like that, it's a 1-run game. That was very Freddie Freeman-like.
And that pitch was upstairs. When he's hitting the ball to left center, you know Joey Votto's on his way back. That's 2 opposite field home runs in this series.
So the leadoff walk finally comes back to haunt Whistler. 2 runs are in for the Reds with 1 out. 3-2 game. And Scooter Gennett, the batter. He has popped out twice. Once to center, once to second. That one skipped up there. If Whistler's to have any chance of winning this game, he has to pitch through 5 innings complete with the lead.
That makes Votto 6 for 8 against him with 2 homers.
Sharply hit, but right at Albies. Ozzy's got it. Gennett is 0 for 3. Here's Duvall. So your Ford keys tonight, Joe. Same old, same old. Try to repeat what you did against the New York Mets for Matt Whistler, and 91-92, I believe, was the second one, velocity-wise.
And he's done the latter. He's done a good job of controlling his fastball. But I thought he gave Winker too much respect. After getting 0-2, he was really trying to nibble too much. Home run to Votto, nothing to be ashamed of. That happens.
1 ball, no strikes for Adam Duvall. Didn't get it. Even count. Matt Whistler was the first Brave starter to pitch 7 complete innings this year. He's the second Brave starter to have a game in which he didn't walk a batter. Sean Newcomb turned the trick in Denver. Believe it or not. Tonight, Whistler's line: 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. So the Reds are putting it in play. The 2-1 pitch popped up, foul back toward us. No chance for Perez to make the play. It's now 2-2.
Saw some activity in the Reds bullpen. Austin Bryce was loosening up. I don't know if they're trying to treat this as a positive step for Finnegan by going 5 innings, but still trailing 3-2.
He'd pitched 7 1/3 innings in his first 2 starts combined. So now the 2-2 pitch. Down and in. Another walk. So the tying runs aboard. Shepler's up, representing the lead run for Cincinnati.
The home run to Votto was upstairs, and it looked like this pitch was high, and it was just out of the zone.
Shepler's hitless in the game, and the pitch is stroked toward the gap in left center. Long run ender. He's not going to get there. It's off the fence. Duvall is on his way around third. Double clutch. Here comes the throw to the plate. Plenty of time, and they got him to end the inning.
Reds are going to look at that. They think there might have been a high tag, but what a great relay from Ender to Dansby. A lot of room there for him to slide. Perez got the ball in plenty of time. And they're going to have an argument. They're going to take a look at it.
Ball clearly beat him. The question is, was that right foot past the plate when the tag was applied, if a tag was applied at all? Let's see this angle.
I have a feeling this will be overturned.
So Schebler doubles off the wall. Crowd says that his foot was on the plate before the tag was applied. Is there enough to overturn the out call at the plate? It's almost like his right foot was past the plate. I don't know if he touched it before the tag was applied. Did his foot graze the top? Was it over the plate?
I think he's safe.
So if he is, the Reds will tie the game and the Cincinnatians will cash in 2 walks. For the moment, Duvall is out 8-6-2. And the Braves have left the field. Whistler's not playing catch with anybody. He's standing on the warning track waiting for the final verdict on review.
Generally speaking, they do take a little extra time on plays at the plate. I think perhaps the only question is whether or not that right foot touched the plate or bounced over it.
He is safe. So the Reds challenge the call at the plate. The call is overturned. Cincinnati has cashed in 2 walks on a homer and a double, and they've tied the game 3-3. And now Chuck Hernandez is out to talk to Matt Whistler to give him a chance to gather his thoughts as the entire Braves defensive lineup moves back onto the field here in Cincy.
I tell you, Schebler's been very impressive. He started the first night, had a good night, a couple of hits and a home run, and tonight he's hit the ball hard. Line drive to center and now a double off the center field wall.
So Whistler is getting a couple of warm-up tosses here after the long delay. And now Tucker Barnhart's coming up. He's 0 for 2.
I think that's pretty fortunate for Matt to be given those pitches.
Never seen that before after a review.
If I were the Reds, I would say if you want to throw some warm-up tosses, then stay on the field until it's determined.
So runner at second for Barnhart, and he takes a strike. I saw a video about a week ago regarding review. I believe in the Korean baseball organization, they have a 3-dimensional view of those plays at the plate where the camera can actually, the video can actually rotate.
Yeah.
So you get a, as this one's down the right field line, a base hit headed for the corner. Schebler is going to score. Barnhart broke his bat and he broke Whistler's heart with a double. So walks have prolonged the inning, and Cincinnati, with its 3rd extra base hit in the frame, has taken a 4-3 lead.
These big innings are killing the Braves here. Not a bad pitch, just the ability of Barnhart to get to it.
And now Blandino bats. He's 2 for 2. Remember, he had a single on a check swing that danced down the first base line his last time up.
No one in the on deck circle. They pinch hit for Finnegan.
He now leads in the game, and a strike. Back to that review. It's kind of like the NFL axis that they show when they show the quarterback plays. So you don't have the limitations of the camera angles in the ballparks. Wonder if that'll make its way to the major leagues in the near future. The pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4 runs, 9 hits for Cincinnati, 3 runs, 7 hits for the Braves. A 4-run 5th inning. A walk and 2 doubles after 2 were out. Joey Votto hit a 1-out 2-run homer. And that's a bouncing ball foul. A ball and 2 strikes.
Jesse Biddle is warming up for the Braves.
In the 6th inning, Ronald Acuna will lead off. Swanson and Perez will follow. Right now the Braves down a run. That's a big run to cut off at second base here. And the 1-2 is lifted toward right. And Nick Markakis is there. He'll catch it, and that retires the side. 3 extra base hits, a big part of the inning. So were 2 walks. The Reds score 4 times. Atlanta trails by a run. Ronald Acuna Jr. up for the 3rd time in the show. He leads off next.
Out here, when he walks up to that plate, he has malice aforethought.
Okay.
And when he's out there in the outfield, Andrew Jones is the outfielder by which all outfielders will be compared to. Here, he's not as good as Andrew, but he's not far off.
Well, anytime a soon-to-be Hall of Famer compliments your game like that, that is quite an endorsement.
I'll say. And he's hit the ball hard, really hard, twice. His first 2 at bats. He's only seen 2 pitches.
Well, let's see how he works the count here in the 6th inning. He's got a new mound opponent. Right-hander Austin Bryce will check in. Cliff Pennington's also in at 3rd base. Pennington will bat 9th, Bryce 8th. It's a 4-3 Cincinnati game now. And Acuna took a pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. He's out of Northwood High School in Pittsboro, North Carolina. The pitch. Slider had him buckled. It's 1-1. Bryce came from Miami with Luis Castillo and Isaiah White for Dan Straley after the 2016 season. Way outside, ball 2. Something that's been talked about with Ronald Acuna is his approach at the plate. He's ahead in the count. And a chopper foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bryce was born in Hong Kong. Where his dad worked in construction. First, the 2-2 pitch. Almost hit him. That was close.
Don't know that that was intentional, but one of the things they will try to find out about you right away is how you react to that.
Let's find out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And strike 3, a fastball. Acuna frozen. He's 0 for 3. There's the first out of the inning.
Pretty good pitch.
Field and Coverth telling Jim Riggleman and Brian Snitker that the mound visit total is 5 apiece remaining. Apparently the scoreboard has that listed incorrectly. That's what he was barking a moment ago. Here's Dansby. He's lined out and flied out. Reds have an interesting note on Austin Bryce. There are only 2 players born in China to appear in a major league game. Bryce is one of them. The other was first baseman Harry Kingman, who was the son of Western missionaries and who made 4 appearances as a pinch hitter for the Yankees in 1914.
That's interesting.
Obviously, neither Bryce nor Kingman are of ethnic Chinese heritage.
Well, he can throw hard. Seen that already. 92 to 95 with a hard slider.
No balls, 2 strikes for Dansby. 4-3 Cincinnati in game 3. And Dansby off stride. Little pop into shallow center. And Schebler's going to catch that. 2 outs. Makes you wonder what the Marlins didn't see in Luis Castillo and Austin Bryce when they went and got Dan Straley, who pitched really well here in Cincinnati. Didn't pitch so well for the Marlins last year and is currently hurt.
Yeah, that was a really nice deal for Cincinnati. You know, I wondered at the same time last year, I thought, how could Cincinnati give up Dan Straley?
Especially as well as he pitched here in this tough pitcher's park.
But the Reds certainly got a good return on it.
Carlos Perez ahead in the count. Ryan Flaherty's on deck. He'll hit for Whistler if the inning continues. And pop fly foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 for the Atlanta catcher is hit high in the air toward left. Backing up is Duvall. He's got it. And Bryce shuts the door on Atlanta in the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down, 4-3 Reds. Dealers, Atlanta led early, but one big inning for the Reds, Joe, has them out in front.
Yeah, and it looked like even that inning the Braves were still going to escape with the lead at 3-2 after the Votto homer. A ground ball out followed the homer, and then a walk and 2 doubles put 2 more on the board for Cincinnati.
Kurt Suzuki's going to come on and catch for Atlanta. He will bat 9th. Jesse Biddle is the second pitcher. He's in relief of Matt Whistler, who gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, 3 walks, 2 of them scored. Third appearance for Biddle, who's won his first major league game. It came in his debut against the Mets on April 21st. And a swing and a miss as Cliff Pennington behind in the count. Pennington checked in a double switch for the Reds a moment ago.
Biddle pitched a couple of nights ago against the Reds, an inning and a third, a hit, a walk, a strikeout, no runs.
I've got Pennington at 0 for his last 19. It's a long dry spell for Cliff, and he's behind 0-2, as is so often the case when you're on the short end of an offensive line. Ground ball toward third. Camargo with a bare hand, can't make the play, and that snaps the offer. Well, the Reds have gotten a lot of check swing rollers in this game, and a couple of hits as a result. Tough way for Biddle's inning to begin. I'll lead off infield hit.
Swing and bunt, check swing singles, and broken bat singles. Pennington will take it any way he can get it.
So Winker, the batter, the Braves haven't retired him yet. He's 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He came home ahead of Votto's opposite field homer. That was 1 inning ago. 4-3 Reds. They have 10 more hits. Cincinnati has 32 hits in the first 3 games of the series. It's the maddening thing. It's the fascinating thing. And when you're on the right end of it, the exciting thing about the game. Any team can beat any other team on any given day. And the Reds, when the Braves got to town, started the series with 3 wins and 18 losses. They'd lost 5 games in a row. This one popped up center of the diamond. Winker not happy about that. It'll be Swanson taking over. And there's the first out. Reds have had a handful of those as well that have helped the Braves pitching staff. Bunch of pop-ups on the infield. 1 on, 1 out for Peraza. Peraza 1 for 3. He's singled, flied to center, and he's flied out to left. The lone chance for Acuna. Defensively in the game. Strike 1. No swing. Ball and a strike.
Jesse's sneaky quick. He has no leg kick out of the stretch. He just kind of picks his foot up and slides it across the top of the mound as he's making his stride, and then zip. 94 on a fastball 2 pitches ago.
Popped up right field line. Long run for Nick. He won't have a play. And Biddle ahead of Peraza. Ball and 2 strikes. Again, Peraza, that 39 plate appearance, excuse me, 38 plate appearance, run without a strikeout, continues with his first 3 trips. He's up to 41 in a row without a punch out. Let's end that streak right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh,
Nope.
Might have caught a break there.
Two. Bouncing ball hit towards short. Gotta hurry. There's one. There's two. Dansby took it himself and starts a beautiful 6-3 double play. No chance for Joey Votto to hit in the inning. That's always good to see. We head to the 7th. This is when the Braves get hot. We'll see what happens next. He's landed in a good spot, a good situation with the Nationals. And as Jerome said, that was a big win for Washington, a much needed win for a club that has not swung the bats very well on their Western road trip. So here we go, 7th inning, 4-3 Reds. Kurt Suzuki will lead off for the Braves. Suzuki and Ciarte and Albies are coming up. As we've said so many times, this is where the Braves make things very interesting. 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning. That's the hope here in game 3. Kurt didn't mean to. He's down a strike. Braves have scored 9 runs from the start of the 7th inning on in this series.
Top of the order's had a lot of fun tonight too, so Kurt's batting in the 9 spot. Maybe he can get something going for them.
And dating back to the Mets series, it's 13 runs for the Braves in their last 3 games over the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Kurt Suzuki's had a big hand in that. Braves have overcome an 8th inning deficit 5 times this year. They've come back against Wade Davis, Raisel Iglesias, Juris Familia. They're down only 1 run in a hitter-friendly park tonight.
We've talked a lot about the Braves and their cutting down on strikeouts, putting the ball in play. Well, this guy's kind of the poster child for it. Kurt has 4 homers and he has 3 strikeouts.
He's in a quick 2-strike hole. Leading off the 7th inning. Austin Bryce turns it loose and foul back and out of play. Finnegan started for the Reds, fell behind 3-0. His offense gave him 4 runs in the 5th. He now leads the game. And it's a battle of the bullpens. Bryce for the Reds, Biddle for the Braves. 0-2 pitch to Kurt. Is cut on and missed. That one dancing down across the shoe tops, and Suzuki missed it. Bryce has a couple of strikeouts, 1 to start the 6th, 1 to start the 7th.
Speaking of turbo sinkers, there's another one at 94.
One away for Ender, who's 2 for 3. He scored 2 of the Atlanta runs. Ender with a 9-game hitting streak that will extend into action tomorrow. And a shot to the left side and through. A 3-hit game for Ender. So he represents the tying run. And now Ozzie Albies will come up. He'll swing left-handed. Ozzie hit a home run back in the 5th.
And Ender's been aggressive on the base paths tonight too. He already has 1 stolen base and was running a couple of other times on pitches that were fouled off. Kind of served that 95-mile-an-hour fastball the other way.
Freddie Freeman's next. Let's see if Ender takes off quickly. He's going, and Ozzie fouled it away. A strike.
Got a good jump too.
Brian Snitker talked about this in spring training. How much more aggressively he wanted the Braves to run the bases, and that doesn't manifest itself in just steals, but going first to third. Trying to score on doubles. We've seen a lot of that in the first 22 games. And Ender's chased back this time. He's 8 out of 10 in stolen bases. Nothing in 1. Not going. Snap throw back to first. And everybody's safe. Bryce ready.
Good call by Albies. Bryce holding it too long.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Ender's running. The pitch, a ball. The throw to second is going to be not in time. The throw was high, and I think that's what saved NCRT.
The throw was in time. It actually got there to get him, but as you said, it's too high to get the tag down. Almost a pitch out too for Barnhart. Kept his foot on the bag.
Ender was politicking with Chris Conroy, saying, no, he tagged me high. And no appeal by the Reds, so the tying run in scoring position now for Ozzie with 1 out. Popped him up. Schebler in center. And he's there for out number 2. So let's see how Jim Riggleman plays it here with Freddie Freeman. He has been a Reds killer, and His good offensive work against Cincinnati is our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Not bad. 6 and 10 in 12 games, including 2 missile launches last night. High up into the right field bleachers.
Braves fans starting to tomahawk, chop, and chant for Freddie. The Reds have a shift on. And again, with a hard-throwing guy in Bryce, Freddie's ideal spot to hit the ball is the widest gaping hole in their defensive alignment. And now they say no more of that. They go ahead and walk him. I was going to say, can't take your chances with Freeman, but the problem is it's pick your poison the way Nick Markakis is swinging the bat.
Well, he's still got his work cut out for him. This is one of the toughest outs in the lineup right now. His average up 5 points to 315.
Nick is 1 for 2. He walked in the first, singled in the fifth. He's not afraid to go the other way. Peraza playing right behind Ender as Nick takes the ball.
This guy's bringing it. He's throwing hard, and he's got good life on his fastball.
Former shortstop in high school. They're now dealing out of the Reds bullpen. Ball 1 to Nick. Here's the next. Anthony's a strike. Ender with a 1-out single. Freeman with an intentional walk. The 1-1 pitch. He's up and away. You've got Camargo waiting on deck.
You keep running that fastball away from Nick, he will take advantage of that hole.
2 balls and a strike. Little chopper hit to the left side. Pennington charges. Awkward fielding play, but he made it. And Markakis rolls out to end the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left at the 7th inning stretch at the Great American Ballpark. The Reds lead the Braves again 4-3 in Game 3. Let's send it back to Atlanta for tonight's stretch. Hey, Jerome and Nick, thanks. Acuna's coming up second in the top of the 8th inning, but first we have to deal with the middle of the Reds order in the bottom of the 7th. And the man leading off is Joey Votto. He's been on base 3 more times tonight. He's singled, walked, and he scored the first 2 runs for the Reds with an opposite field 2-run homer off Matt Whistler. And Biddle's gotten ahead of him quickly. No balls, 2 strikes.
Isn't it interesting that 2 of the best sluggers in the National League, 2 of the best slugging first basemen, both choke up on the bat? And as a result, good bat control, and both hit for high average.
Up the middle, right to Dansby, who was playing behind the second base bag. Biddle almost got that with a backhanded swipe.
Sure did.
So Votto retired. You want to talk about some karma tonight? Ronald Acuna is debuting in the major leagues, right? Wearing number 13. Paid attendance tonight, 13,113. Here's Scooter Gennett. And downstairs, ball 1. Scooter 0 for 3. Biddle just missed, ball 2.
Shackelford just activated from the disabled list, getting ready.
It's designated Kevin Quackenbush to make room for Shackelford on the roster. Pop fly foul, 2 balls and a strike. Braves had to make a roster decision today as well. Peter Borges was the man who lost his roster spot when Acuna was brought up to AAA. And I read something earlier today. I think Peter Borges lost his roster spot when Mike Trout came up with the Angels.
Is that right?
And if that's the case, what a story for Peter Borges when the grandchildren come. The pitch lifted towards center. Ender sprinting, still going back. That ball is off the base of the wall. Scooter Gennett on his way to second. The throw close and barely late. Oh man, was that close.
How accurate was that from the wall? Looked like a close play at the bag, but did Ozzie hang on to the throw? One hopper. Yeah, he did hang on to the baseball.
Yeah, he beat it.
Yeah.
But a great throw by Ender made that play closer than perhaps it should have been. So 6 doubles for Gennett. That's a big insurance run out there for Cincinnati. Duvall is going to be intentionally walked. And now the Braves will go after Schebler, who doubled home a run and scored his last time up. Schebler tied the game, bringing home Duvall. And then Barnhart doubled home Schebler.
Yeah, and think about it. If that call goes the Braves' way at the plate, and perhaps if Perez had not had to reach so far to make the tag, if he had been over in a little better position to make the tag, their last 2 runs don't score.
One ball, no strikes. Tucker Barnhart on deck. Biddle would like a strikeout or a ground ball at someone. Braves have turned a couple of double plays tonight. A third wouldn't hurt. Even count. Both the Braves and Reds have stranded 7 runners so far in the game. And that one hit up the middle, and Dansby can't find it. He was in perfect position, but couldn't come up with that hot smash, and the Reds have the bases loaded with 1 out. Braves were that close to getting a double play and getting out of the inning.
Hard hit, a little bit of an in-between hop, coming off the mound. It had a little top spin, but he did get some leather on it to keep from getting into center field and producing another run.
So the double play still in order, but now there's no place to put Tucker Barnhart. Or as they had on the scoreboard, Ducker Barnhart. There are 3 ducks on the pond for him here in the 7th inning.
Schebler continues to impress. Really like him.
Gave him a hit on that play.
I think that's fair.
So no place to put the Cincinnati catcher. Cincinnati leads by a run. Barnhart is 5 for 9 as a right-hand hitter. A strike. Well, what a valuable skill set he has. A switch hitting catcher who almost never makes an error. You can see why the Reds are very happy to have him handling this staff. No balls and a strike. And Biddle way ahead 0-2. Let's see if he can finish him off. Barnhart, a Gold Glover last year, made 1 error all season.
Maybe get him to expand his zone and hit the ball on the ground, and then let the Braves turn 2.
Billy Hamilton's grabbed a bat. He's on deck if the inning continues after Barnhart. Hamilton would hit for Mr. Bryce. A ball and 2 strikes. Here it is. Ooh. Pretty close.
Yeah, it was. Pitch tracks had it at the top of the zone. Can't believe he didn't take a hack at that.
2-2. Biddle versus Barnhart in the 7th. Struck him out with a breaking ball. He got the high strike that time. It wasn't the heat, and Barnhart can't believe it. He's rung up on a curveball for a big second out.
That's the way he started this at bat, was it with that curveball. He got the call at the top of the zone there. What Barnhart doesn't realize is that he lived to see a couple of extra pitches because Biddle didn't get the call a little bit ago.
So Hamilton for Bryce. A little more pressure on the Braves infield. They've got a pinch in to cut off a bunt, but that opens up some angles for Hamilton if he can make contact, which he has not done an awful lot of for the Reds. Hamilton hitting a .181, 26 strikeouts, 72 at bats.
3 for 17 right-handed.
0-1. 0-2. Can Biddle get out of a 7th inning mess and keep it a 1-run game? Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Barnhart gave up on that curveball twice.
He struck him out. What a job by Biddle. A double, an intentional walk, an infield hit, and then back-to-back strikeouts, and the Reds leave the bases loaded. To the 8th we go. Camargo, Acuna, and Swanson are coming up.
Pitch swung on, hammered center field, deep ball. It's gone! 3-run homer. Jeff Bradford's first big league hit of all.
What a special night that was at Turner Field in Atlanta. That was our Built for Baseball moment, brought to you by T-Mobile.
He's on his T-Mobile line right now.
Reading his press clippings, no doubt.
Here filling in for Don Sutton on the radio, working with Jim Powell.
What a great moment that was back in Atlanta. Billy Hamilton stays in the game to play center. Shackelford's on to pitch. Camargo will greet him first. Braves are down a run. 4-3 your score. Last year, Shackelford, 26 games for Cincinnati. Kevin, born in Charlotte, lives in Nashville. He came from the Brewers organization in a trade that sent Jonathan Broxton to Milwaukee. He was an International League All-Star last year and was rated the best relief pitcher by the managers in the International League last season.
He's been on the disabled list with a right forearm strain. That's a scary injury.
Fly foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bryce did a nice job. 2 innings, only 1 hit and an intentional pass.
We're in the 8th, 4-3 Reds. And that one tipped. I believe it was tipped. It was apparently 2 balls, 2 strikes. Acuna's next. Ronald looking for his first hit tonight. Dansby Swanson due third. That's down the right field line and out of play.
Well, he threw some top hand on that off-speed pitch. Kept his hands back nicely.
2-2. Hit a mile high toward right. Winker, though, drifts back, is going to have room, and there's the first out. Well, I wonder if Acuna and Shackelford faced off last summer. We will see if Waddle can find a hole. He flied out to center on the first pitch he saw in the first. A one pitch at bat in the third, saw him fly out to right, and then Bryce greeted him with a nasty strikeout pitch to start the sixth. And it's over but low, 1 ball, no strikes. Even count. Acuna, the youngest position player to debut for the Braves since Wilson Betemit in 2001. Betemit was 19 years, 320 days old when he first got to Atlanta. Bouncing ball foul. And Ronald, the youngest overall player to debut for the Braves, Julio Teheran, at 20 years, 100 days.
Got that off his foot.
Base is empty, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Up the middle, and there's his first big league hit. Even Joey Votto said, "Congratulations, kid." He gets his first major league hit, a ringing single right back up the middle.
And the authenticator will authenticate.
Yes.
That's what he does best.
So the first of who knows how many for Ronald Acuna. An 8th inning single, and Dansby Swanson the hitter. Didn't get it. Strike 1. Preston Tucker's on deck. He's going to come on and pinch hit, barring a double play here. Have the tying run on. Would they dare send Acuna? And he had 40+ stolen bases in the minors last year. Another half step on that lead. Not going. And downstairs. Ball 1, strike 1. Remember, too, in the at bat before the hit, he fouled the ball right off his toe, so he may not be feeling his left foot.
That's true. That's true. That was a nice at bat, though, after falling behind in the count. And bouncing that right back through the middle.
Good lead. Not going. Smoke to left. Look out, folks.
This number 7 cat has been so quick inside with this new approach and not trying to pull. It is amazing how quick he has been reacting to pitches inside.
Doing tomorrow. Okay.
And when he's gotten to 2 strikes, he's tried to hit the ball to right field. He's got a big hole to try to do that here. Check to swing, stays alive.
That was kind of a borderline pitch, too. Good thing he got a piece of it.
Billy Hamilton plays very shallowly in center. Normal depth in left and right. Ronald Acuna with his first major league hit. is aboard with 1 out in a 1-run game. Another half step on the lead. The pitch is in the dirt. Good take by Swanson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's got to be really wild for Barnhart not to get a piece of it or for the ball to get by.
He's really quick and pouncing on anything that comes loose too.
Johnny Bench and Johnny Edwards, the other Reds Gold Glove winners behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lifted to the right side. Votto will give chase over by the Reds dugout, and it's 3 rows into the stands. And to be putting up a good fight here in his 4th trip to the plate.
And he's hit the ball hard twice in his first 3 and didn't have anything to show for it. Line shots at third and left.
So let's try it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What a stop. Snap throw back to first and safe.
What an incredible.
How did he catch that?
Piece of glove work that was. It's impossible. That's just kind of putting your glove where you think it might bounce. And then was able to fire off a bullet down to first base.
So, partner, let's manage along with Brian Snitker. Is he going here?
Yep.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ronald leads. There he goes. The pitch. Hot shot, base hit to left. Acuna around second, on his way to third. The throw's coming into third. He dives in safely. There's that aggressive base running we've been talking about. Acuna goes first to third on a single to left. And a great at bat by Swanson has the Braves in business.
Hanging breaking ball on a 3-2 count. Did Dansby a favor there, and he ripped it. Now watch Acuna as he rounds second here, and when he decided to go, the Jets were turned up.
So now the Braves with a fly ball could get the game tied. A big fly would put him in the lead. And we know that Preston Tucker knows a thing or two about hitting 3-run homers. So Tucker bats for Biddle here. First and third, 1 out.
He's also thrown some pitches in the dirt, so be alive if you're the runner at third.
Little looper foul to the left side and into the stand. Strike 1. Preston Tucker knows the deal. He knew that Acuna was on the way. He's done an excellent job in left field for Atlanta. And now he can fill a much needed role, a left-handed power hitting threat off the bench for the Braves. No balls and a strike. Popped up again toward the Braves dugout. And this one will hit off the roof. 0-2. Preston was roadblocked in the Houston system by all the terrific athletic players they've had stacked up.
That's a good point.
In fact, he said that the arrival of Acuna could be the same for Atlanta that Correa was for the Astros. Sure hope that that's the case. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. And that's where they've gone to get him. That time it was too tight.
Yeah, they like coming up and in on him, try to throw fastballs by him at the letters.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch.
Try it again.
Two balls, two strikes. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Last two pitches were up in the zone. Then the finishing pitch was dropping out of sight, and Preston swung over the top. Two out.
Great pitch. Great out pitch against the hitter that he had to make something happen. Key hitter in the inning.
So Kurt Suzuki, the final hope in the Atlanta eighth. Kurt came on in the 6th inning and batted in the 7th and struck out. If Suzuki can keep the frame alive, Ender Inciarte with a 3-hit night is on deck. That buzzed the tower. Ball one.
See if Kurt can turn one of these fastballs around.
Hot shot. He did. A base hit ties it. Acuna scores. Kurt Suzuki with a big hit in the 8th inning makes it a 4-4 game.
Man, has he been clutch. 2 outs. He got a high fastball, letter high. And as we all know, he can hit a high fastball. That was combed into center.
And Ronald Acuna scores his first major league run after his first major league hit. Many more of those to come.
Yeah, that easy RBI set up by him going first to third.
So now Atlanta has the go-ahead run in scoring position for Ender, who's red hot. And that misses badly upstairs. Ball one. 4 runs, 11 hits for the Braves. 4 runs, 12 hits for Cincinnati.
Suzuki now hitting .353 with runners in scoring position.
The stretch and pitch. Sharply hit towards second. Jeanette surrounds it and makes the play to first in time, and that retires the side. Atlanta history in the 8th inning. Ronald Acuna's first big league hit, his first big league run, gets the game tied 4-4 here at the Great American Ballpark.
Sponsored by your local Ford dealer, the Georgia Lottery, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.
Statue of Pete Rose sliding headfirst outside the Great American Ballpark. Great game tonight in Game 3. 4-4. Atlanta and Cincinnati are tied up. And Dan Winkler is going to come on and pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. He's got Pennington, Winker, and Peraza.
He worked the 8th inning last night, walked the first batter he faced, Blandino, but then retired the next 3 in a row.
And something off speed had Pennington out in front. Pennington snapped a long over with a little squibber for a 6th inning hit. 1 of 12 tonight by the Reds. And a soft line drive to Freddie Freeman retires Pennington. There's out number 1. And here is the matchup we've all been waiting for. Winkler versus Winker in a tie game.
You didn't like Whistler and Winker?
Well, it was fine. I didn't like the results as much as what I hope will happen here. Winker had 2 hits and a walk and scored a run against Matt and company tonight. So Whistler's off the hook. Finnegan can't win it. It's a bullpen battle yet again. And a first pitch swing right to short. Dansby's got it. 2 out.
Aren't you glad that didn't last long?
You and the entire audience. It could have been total chaos. More so than normal. 2 down. And here's Peraza. Peraza's 1 for 4. If this game goes the Braves' way, the key inning might be the 7th inning that Jesse Biddle worked. Reds had the bases loaded with 1 out. Barnhart struck out on a curveball. Hamilton struck out to end the inning. Reds were looking to extend a 1-run lead and couldn't. Strike.
Good job by Dan. Come in and throw strikes. Really be nice to keep this guy off the bases and let Votto lead off the next inning.
One ball, 1 strike. In the 9th, Braves will have Albies, Freeman, and Markakis scheduled to hit. This is a big game for the Braves tonight.
It is, and we were talking about that from the get-go.
To short, funky spin, but Dansby stayed with it. And Dan Winkler, an excellent 1-2-3, bottom of the 8th inning. Here comes Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, and Nick Markakis. 4-4 after 8 in the Queen City of Cincinnati.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
One of the beautiful architectural features of Cincinnati, Ohio, and Northern Kentucky. That's the Roebling Suspension Bridge. John Roebling was the engineer for whom that bridge is named. That bridge was the model for the Brooklyn Bridge. And it's a beauty. Like our game tonight, 4-4 after 8. Ozzie Albies leads off. Showed bunt, took high, ball 1. Get that leadoff guy on, make Shackelford sweat a bit. Figure the Reds' pen's a little short tonight,
especially with this part of the order. And he's been away from the big leagues for a while.
Yeah, it's bounced foul and out of play. Even count for Ozzie Albies. An infield hit for Ozzie in the first inning, and then a towering home run right down the left field line that hit the foul pole with 1 out in the Braves' 5th. His 17th extra base hit. They're coming inside with a 1-1 pitch. And almost didn't get it there. Fouled away. When he hit this ball in the 5th inning, it went straight up, and I don't think he was sure, I wasn't, that it was going to leave the park.
And it hit off the screen on the foul pole. Braves had 2 or 3 like that already this year.
Not very far, but very effective. The pitch didn't get the corner called. 2-2.
That's close. Hard in, and then backdoor effort with a slider, just missed.
Right-hander stretches, and the 2-2 is squibbed out of play. We'll do it again.
That was a similar pitch to the one he struck Tucker out on in the 8th inning. Left-handed batter, but he left it up just a little bit where Ozzie could foul it off. Minter loosening up.
Here comes the 2-2, and Ozzie got hit. Did it catch the protective guard? I think not. A painful plate appearance for Albies, but a chance for him to maybe steal a base here as the Braves put their leadoff man on in the 9th.
Above the guard on his right arm. That hurt. Might have hit that nerve. George's out to check him out. Still got the elbow guard on, but it missed it.
Guard on for now and stay in the game. Ozzie was really happy that George didn't walk up and just take his finger and say, did that get you right there? Just sort of poke around.
Yeah, my mom would have.
Right. And no freeze spray anymore. So Albies aboard. Freeman the hitter. He's singled. He's walked intentionally. 1 for 3 night for Freddie. And he jumps on the first pitch and hammers it to center. Ozzie makes the cut at second and slams on the brakes. Billy Hamilton came up quickly. And Atlanta's in business. 2 on, nobody out.
Really wise decision here by Ozzie. This ball was hit hard. He wasn't running on the play. And it's a different center fielder. Billy Hamilton's got a good arm. He looked like when he got to second, he was going to go to third, and then just as he was getting to the base, he held up, and wisely so.
So Shackelford hits the first batter he sees in the 9th. Freeman picks up his 2nd hit of the game, and Jim Riggleman is coming to the plate. Field and Culbreth. We'll watch Jim Riggleman make another double switch here. And Cincinnati will call upon their 3rd reliever of the night to try to preserve a 4-4 tie for the moment. Atlanta's in business. Nick Markakis is coming up. 2 on, nobody out. Our coverage starts at noon Eastern time on Fox Sports Southeast. First pitch at 12:35, we are told. The game will stream live as always on Fox Sports Go. It's our April in the ATL coverage presented by Advance Auto Parts. Newcomb versus Homer Bailey in Game 4. Atlanta hoping for a chance to split this 4-game series. A couple of changes. Phil Gosselin checks in for Cincinnati. He'll play third. Pennington moves to short, and Dylan Floro is on in relief.
Low 90s fastball, a lot of two-seamers, a lot of sinkers. Good reason to be brought in here to try to get a ground ball and a double play. Slider and a changeup.
Floro seen big league time with Tampa Bay in 2016. 3 games with the Cubs last year. Belt high strike, 0-1. Floro's out of Merced, California, 27 years old. Minor league contract signed in December. Reds brought him to camp, and here he is. 2 on, nobody out. Great chance for Atlanta to come back and take away what was a modest 4-3 Cincinnati lead. We're tied at 4. Hits are even, 12 apiece. And Floro throws hard. Boy, he's got a funky move to the plate, doesn't he?
A little funny leg kick.
One ball, 1 strike. Albies the lead runner. Freeman at first. The pitch missed outside. Ball 2. A hit batsman got this 9th inning rally started.
Perfect time for him to take a little off, throw that two-seamer with Nick ahead in the count.
Little chopper hit to the left side. Gosselin goes to second for 1. Return to first is in time. CB Buckner rings up Nick Markakis, and Eric Young immediately looked into the Atlanta dugout and said, appeal it.
Yeah, I would say so too. That had to happen to try to get that run and make sure there's a runner at third with only 1 out.
Safer out.
Not even close.
Yeah, this is going to be overturned.
Welcome back, CB.
So Atlanta's going to have runners at first and third on the force play. And the Braves fans are seeing the review on the scoreboard. You're right, he beat that by a half a strike. Great hustle by Markakis. And this one should be a quick overturn, and he is going to be ruled safe. So Freeman's forced at second. Johan Camargo will be the hitter. Atlanta runners are at the corners with 1 out. And again, Jim Riggleman is on his way out.
This looks like more of a strategic trot to the mound to discuss what's going to happen here, or how he wants his infield to play this. Nobody warming up in their bullpen, but it will count as a trip to the mound.
Jim Riggleman in his 4th interim managerial stint in the major leagues. Remarkable. After Brian Price was relieved of his duties before Cincinnati played the Cardinals.
There's that halfway in strategy, which more often than not comes back to bite you. You're not all the way in, you're not all the way back.
Margot the hitter. A fly ball would be just fine. The pitch is called a strike.
With a fast runner at third base. if you really want to think about cutting that go-ahead runoff here in the 9th inning, play in. If you get greedy and think you can turn 2 up the middle and end the inning, then play back.
No balls and a strike. He shows bunt. He got it down. It's going to trickle foul, however. Good idea, but Johan couldn't keep it fair, and now it's 0-2. Might recall Ender Inciarte won the game for the Braves at home against the Mets on a bunt play. But that one skipped foul. Now Camargo's down 2 strikes with Acuna waiting on deck.
He got squared around and put it down, but obviously pulled it a little too far to the right side. And when you're taught, fundamentally taught, if on a squeeze play like that, bunt the ball back to the mound. Don't try to be too fine with it.
Now he's got to really work hard. Down 2 strikes. Here it is. Taken low. That was a good take. Close call.
Yeah, easily could have been called a strike. Barnhart did not position himself real well on that one.
The 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Chopper hit to the left side, and it's off the glove of Pennington. A run is in. Markakis around second, going to third. Camargo in at second, and the Braves have the lead. The halfway in defense cost Cincinnati a run. That's a double and an RBI. And the Braves cash in the gift hit by pitch to start the 9th.
Good job by Johan, just trying to put the ball in play, behind in the count, bounces it off near the plate, and then when you're halfway in, you get an in-between hop. Bonus for the Braves. Now they'll play in.
And with 1 out, second and third for Ronald Acuna's first major league hit came in the 8th. The pitch to him is lashed out of play and headed for the upper deck. Strike 1. What a night for Albies. 2 runs, a homer, 2 hits. Ender Inciarte 3 hits and 2 runs. Freddie a couple of hits. Camargo a pair of doubles. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Didn't get it. 0-2.
Pretty good pitch right there. Late movement on it.
Nothing in 2 for Acuna, and a swing and a miss. He's down on 3 pitches. That's the second out of the inning. Second strikeout for Ronald. 1 looking, 1 swinging. And now Dansby Swanson's coming up.
They are not out of the woods yet by any means. Not the way this guy's swinging the bat.
8th inning hit for Swanson. Braves would love some insurance. 5-4 in the 9th. Little chopper hit toward third. Gosselin's got it. His toss across in time, and that retires the side. Ozzie Albies hit by a pitch to start the inning. Camargo brought him home with a bouncing ball double. Atlanta needs 3 outs for their first win in Cincinnati. of the 9th inning. It's also a chance for A.J. Minter to pick up his first save. And he's got the 3, 4, 5 guys coming up.
He threw 19 pitches last night and had some trouble in the 7th inning. Gave up a double and a single to the first 2 hitters he faced, but he did strike out Joey Votto before Scooter Gennett put down a squeeze bunt. So Votto did see him last night.
Votto's got a single, a walk, a homer. He's also bounced out. First guy imperative in a 1-run game in the 9th. The pitch to Votto. High fly ball right at Acuna in left. And he is under. There's the first out on the first pitch.
Big out. Can't say enough about the good inning Dan Winkler had too. 3 up and 3 down in the 8th inning.
And Biddle's 7th, bases loaded, 1 out. He got out of trouble there. So here's Scooter Gennett. He's got a 7th inning double to highlight his night. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies lead Arizona 5-3 in the 8th. Cardinals beating the Mets 5-1 in the 4th inning in St. Louis. The Marlins up 3-0 in Los Angeles. Those are your Eastern Division games. 1-0 count for Gennett from A.J. Minter. Ball 2. They can put the ball in play. 2 balls, no strikes. It's 2-1. I already told you about the Nationals. They clubbed the Giants 15-2 today. Max Scherzer was the National starter.
Last night the home run Gennett hit to win the ball game was off Max Fried on a hanging curveball, lefty to lefty.
Swing and a miss. It was a sharp, biting, breaking ball.
Yeah, Minter doesn't throw a curveball. He's got that slider slash cutter, and that's what Gennett offered at there.
Let's see what Kurt Suzuki calls for here. He's bringing the gas. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Struck him out with it. Perfectly placed at 97 miles an hour. And 2 are out in the Cincinnati 9th.
Lovely.
One more man to get. And that man is Adam Duvall. 2 walks and a run scored tonight. Duvall 0 for 2, including a double play. Swing and a miss. Look at where Johan Camargo is playing at third base. He is hugging that line. There's no way Duvall is going to get a ball between him and the foul line. No balls and a strike. Swanson and Albies join him on the left side of the diamond. Outfield playing Duvall deep. 1 strike, 2 outs, home 9th.
Trying to play no doubles. They'll give up a single, but hopefully nothing over their head.
Suzuki wants it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled back. Wasn't up enough, but Duvall fouled it away.
He had a good swing at it too.
Amazing stat. The Braves have 12 wins this year. They have 1 save this year. Minter's trying to double it with 1 more strike in the 9th.
Well, fastball or cutter? Cutter.
The 1-2 pitch from Minter for Adam Duvall. He's in the dirt. Phil Gosselin's on deck. The Braves would just soon see him tomorrow afternoon.
Trying it again. Try to make a little better pitch with it.
The 2-2. Fly ball center. Ender is back to the track at the wall. He's got it.
Holy smokes. Was he deaconess like he was going to climb the wall?
Poor A.J. Minter just had a heart attack. And so did I.
Yeah.
But Ronald Acuna and the Atlanta Braves are in the win column here in Cincinnati as Adam Duvall hit a fly ball to the fence in right center. And Atlanta picks up a much-needed 13th win. Again.
He just deked us, I think. He made it look like he was about to climb the wall and didn't.
We're going to have a talk with that young man. We're too old for that kind of excitement.
Oh, mercy.
Win number 13 on a night when number 13 debuts in a Braves uniform. And the Braves, by the way, had 13 hits. What a night. 5-4 is your final in Cincinnati.